This is on air, but are we really? Can it be trusted?
It said we were on air the entire time last week, and we most definitely were not.
No, we weren't. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with my internet connection. Hopefully it doesn't pull that again, but we'll see. Okay, everything looks good now. Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Jesse.
Hey, everybody. We're just hanging out. We're just kicking it. How are you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing all right. It's hot. This humidity. And did you guys have weird storms last night? Because we had like this intense downpour and then it was over.
Yeah, no, we had it too, for sure. Weird rain because it was very windy, so it was like, I could hear it distinctly hitting raining on the windows on the side of the house, as opposed to just like,
oh yeah, it's windy when that happens.
Yeah. It's raining sideways for a moment. Melanie was in the car. Well, she was in Omaha still, I think, when it hit there.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Well, and she's in a car right now. She's there's no AC in the car, so when it's raining, she's got to put the windows up. And with as hot as it's been, there was at least one day whenever we had a kind of gnarly storm, few days last week maybe. She messaged. She's like, "I'm off work, but I'm gonna wait a little while because I do not want to drive home with the windows up the whole time in this storm because it's so hot in that car." So
it'd probably like fog up. It would be awful.
Yeah.
Like it probably wouldn't be safe anyways.
Agreed. And that's what I think about. I don't know that she thinks about that much. She'd probably be like, as soon as I'm like, no, that's not safe, I feel like she wants to do it more.
Right. She's like, don't tell me. I'm getting home. I
do what I want.
Right. Reckless? It's on.
Excuse me. Not too much to talk about this week. We could talk about a little bit of X-Men. I know we talk about that. We talked a little bit about Vampire Lestat before we started streaming, but like we're not quite in sync on that one, but maybe we'll talk about that.
Right.
And whatever else.
I think we're close enough that we could at least chat about it.
Yeah. So basically, we don't have a lot to talk about, which means buckle up for an hour and 40-minute show.
Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. Doctor Who's
just talking about Doctor Who. Yeah.
I was about to say Doctor Who's in such a weird place, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can make it so we could stretch that out we could do a Doctor Who podcast easily. We have several times.
Oh, easily. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not necessarily what we're doing tonight. But hey, did you do anything interesting or exciting last weekend or something? John C. Fremont Days.
Oh,
that's it.
The 4th?
We or the 4th. Whatever you had going on.
I didn't really do anything for the 4th. I tried to avoid the 4th as much as possible, and I usually try to avoid John C. Fremont Days. But I do have a John C. Fremont Days event happening on Saturday. We're gonna do a pop up on Main Street.
Oh, is that this coming Saturday? I'm so out of sync.
That's like coming Saturday.
I think I see you post about a thing you're getting ready for, and I'm like, oh, Jesse did that. So I'm very out of sync.
Yep. No, it hasn't happened yet. Yeah. And then I got like a book bash thing that I got to get a prize into them. So hopefully I don't like it's such a weird thing. It's like, I hope I do well. I hope I don't do that well because I need product. I need to have product for Comic-Con, which will be the next weekend.
Right.
And I also need product because I got to give something to this library. So I'm like, I hope I do well. I hope I don't do that well.
Hey,
commerce is dumb. Capitalism is a flawed system. This should be Star Trek. Woke, go broke.
I was about to say we're not political here.
Nope.
It is dumb. It's so interesting. So one thing I'm seeing a lot, because it's sucked into my echo chamber, is stuff about physical media, which is probably why I bought that thing I bought, because I keep seeing it.
Sure.
Because Sony did the thing where they like their license for a bunch of movies that you previously could have bought in their PlayStation store is expiring. So there's like 550 movies that are going to get removed, including if you bought it digitally, it's just going to be gone. Like, tough luck. So that came out the same week they announced going forward, they're not going to produce physical discs for games anymore. So in the future PlayStation games, just digital, no more physical discs. And so I think that combination of things really kicked up the whole like physical media discussion again. I mean, it's always going on, but what was my point with this? I thought I was going somewhere specific. So that's a thing. God damn, I don't remember where I was going with it.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, it's a salient point. I mean, see, I think you were talking about how it's been stuff. Coming up on like, and that had been coming up maybe in your feed a lot, that people are
right, and that's
really concerned
that's what
about.
put it in my head, because it's like, well, capital. On the one hand, like, I do miss having. I mean, that's why I started buying vinyl. I miss having physical media. I miss collecting it, although I'm not really going at it from a collector mindset. I'm just buying the things I really want, as opposed to like spending more for a variant or a different color of a thing. Nah, I'm not doing that. Does it sound good? That's what I'm
buying two, one to use, one to keep.
Right. I'm not doing that. But I had been missing collecting physical media for a long time. So I've been enjoying that. I've been enjoying and even as like a musician, like Spotify pulls their crap, and there's a bunch of stuff over the last couple of years with the streaming services, and knowing that potentially like the company I use to distribute my music to all the streaming platforms could be like, we think you've been botting your streams, and then just can remove all your music, like just boom, gone, and there's no recourse. So physical media has been on my mind for a while. But then, because like, you will own nothing and you will be happy. I like owning stuff. But you're right, though. Capitalism kind of sucks, too. It is a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But I think, whatever, it's unchecked capitalism is the problem. And we have no checks on anything, capitalism, political or otherwise. So, whatever.
No. We only ever had the illusion of it, apparently.
Yes.
Nothing is real. You can't even know if a guy is dead or not.
Right. And it's
what kind of bonkers world do we live in?
And where it's like the internet is in such a funky place too, where so Mitch McConnell, I seen a picture that was supposed to be like a picture of him holding a newspaper to prove like, oh no, he's alive. But it's like the picture was obviously AI. So I'm like, wait, is that a legitimate picture that they tried to put out there that's clearly fake? Or is the article about it being a picture they tried to put out there fake? Is it all fake? Who's lying? And that's kind of the state of just everything right now. Somebody's lying, but who is it?
Slop.
Yeah.
Right. There's the AI slop of him doing the Thriller dance or whatever.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, I mean, like, it mostly looks like him, but it also doesn't quite look like him. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a prickly topic, but man, it's so funny because like most of the voters, unless they've been like fed some talking point that for some reason they choose to believe, most of the voters would be like, yeah, maybe age limits or at least term limits would be a good thing on some of these positions. Maybe we don't need people that have been in there for decades and can't like not freeze up or fall over every couple weeks. I don't know. It's
And
prickly.
there's no real mechanism for removal other than
Yeah.
like a good portion of the body has to of the like congressional body or Senate or whatever has to like vote for their removal, like what happened to Santos.
We're definitely seeing right, right. And even that was super rare. That was like super, super rare.
Yeah.
Um, did you ever have Mr. Brink at Logan View? Was Mr. Brink?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I loved Mr. Brink because when he'd do like American history, he'd like tell you like blah blah blah. This is how checks and balances. This is how it's supposed to work. And he's like,
Right.
that's not necessarily how it actually works. It's all kind of BS. But this is like he just had such this like he would teach you the thing he was supposed to
Yeah.
teach you, but then he'd be a realist if you started asking him questions about it, right? I always
Yeah.
appreciated that. But
It's
man,
funny because I was always under this illusion that the checks and balances really work, you know?
right, right. Well, I mean, I feel like there was like it did appear to work better than it does now, which is not at all. But I think now we're definitely seeing
Right.
the flaws where there need I don't know how you do it, but there really needs to be like completely separated oversight committees or something that
Yeah.
like whoever's in power in this branch, like none of the people in power in the different branches have any say in who gets like having a one party and a president be able to like or one party and a couple presidents over several terms stack the Supreme Court like they've been doing since the
Right.
I don't know, I get probably the 90s, but at least the early 2000s. That's a problem. They should have no say on that
Yeah.
at all. Like that just shouldn't even be. I don't know. Whatever. We're getting super political. I was about to say
Well,
the electoral
yeah.
college is a real big problem too. So
Well, yeah,
gerrymandering
it
and all
is.
that.
I mean, it worked for the era that it was designed for, but it's not. It doesn't work for that for this era. We're
Right.
living in a new age, and we need a system that works for the age that we're living in.
Yeah.
And I'm skeptical that that will happen.
I don't think it
Like,
will.
like, and every time that they talk about a third party, like I get excited, and I know it will go nowhere.
I've noticed an interesting. I think they're trying to. I think there seems to be an effort to like split the vote just in infinite ways by people starting various third parties to try to siphon off the left wing to wherever
Yeah.
because they see like there's some disillusionment as there should be because if we're a two-party system we
Yeah.
don't have a left wing party, we have a right wing and a right light party really.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, there's just so much manipulation going on. It's like that clearly that Republican guy who is running for a Democrat position here in
Right. In
Nebraska in the
Nebraska. Yeah.
primaries. And it's like, oh, he's an old pastor guy who's voted Trump and went to like several Republican conventions in the last few years is suddenly running Democrat. Huh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Right.
tomfoolery like that going on.
And then you had to like run a person just to make sure that he didn't win. You had to run a person that was like, yeah, I'm running so that that guy can't be the primary winner. And also I will resign.
I
Like
will resign so
her
that the
primary
independent
thing was,
can take my
yeah,
votes, basically. Who like,
yeah. I was like, what a messed up system we have
right?
where this has become the reality of politics, where like it's just theater. It's so bizarre.
And that is also tomfoolery, but that is at least here, at least the Nebraska Democratic Party being like, sure, let's give the independent guy a chance because we apparently don't have anybody else to like that has whatever. He's got some poll going or some
Yeah.
momentum, that would not happen on the national level. The DNC is
No. Well,
the DNC sucks.
even the Graham Plattner thing, even the Graham Plattner thing, it seems like he had an awful lot of like he just kept having problems. There were just red flag after red flag
Right.
after red flag. It was like, this isn't gonna go well. This isn't gonna go well. And then finally it's like, nope, dude's gonna have to step down. And at least he did.
But we're not a political show. It's fine. That might be the
No, we're
most
not.
political we've
We're
gotten in a long time.
Oh man, we went all over the place. We talked about Nebraska politics. We talked about Maine politics.
Yeah.
We've talked about it all. That's what happens when we don't actually get a chance to entertain ourselves. We look at the world outside our doors,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
place is scarier than fiction.
That place sucks. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. Touch some grass.
It is
Touch some grass. No, thank you.
I'm all the time seeing posts. I reposted a Blue Sky post on Facebook the other day because I'm like, it's true, but it's also like satire is dead. Because it was so like ridiculous. Some of the facts are so ridiculous. It's like, if you were a satirist, what do you do? Like, you just can't. You can't write anything.
I think Gwar was the big like eye opener for me when like it was like Gwar has been doing this for more presidencies. Like I don't even know. I don't remember when they started, but they've been doing it the entire time, at least since Reagan. And then they even brought Reagan back from the dead so they could kill him again.
Right.
Like they kill presidents in rubber suits.
Right.
They kill celebrities in rubber suits. They make tasteless humor at every show, like just horrible, tasteless, violent humor. And yeah, satire must be dead if we're actually getting bent out of shape about Gwar.
Well, I thought comedy was legal again. What are some snowflakes having an issue with the free speech?
Unless they get terrible ratings and they have no talent.
I did, by the way, we were talking about it because last weekend was 4th of July. I did put some Gwar in the Edge of the Abyss set for the 4th of July. Had to. I think it was El Presidente was the song. Yeah.
Perfect.
The first line of the song went pretty hard. I was like, yep, this is the song. I don't think I can say it. I don't think it's protected speech, but it's in the song.
Yeah.
Because it's art. And free and comedy's legal, so
it is. It's not legal.
What?
I don't know. I don't know how to segue out of this. We have dug ourselves into a hole.
I know. What do we do?
It's not legal. Time travel.
Oh, hey, Brandon, by the way, I hope Brandon's still listening. I just seen the chats. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth playback again. I don't understand. Brandon said, going back to Winamp and buying my MP3s. I'm buying cassettes, LOL. Wear my Sony Walkman. I'm making a mixtape. Grawlix Politics podcast tonight. That's for you, Brandon.
It is. Yeah, man.
We know you love the politics.
Man, good thing we're not on Helix Rock Radio right now, because that was the one thing he didn't want.
We waited till we got off Helix to start really diving into the politics again.
To get in this bad, yeah.
Why is it doing the thing with the bit rate again? I don't understand. I don't get what happened.
All right, so are we on YouTube? Because last time we found out we weren't even on YouTube, right?
Right. It seems like we are.
I know this is scintillating. If we are on YouTube, this is good video. But if we're not on YouTube, we need to find that out. It looks like we are.
Yeah, it seems like we are.
Okay.
Okay, we're about okay. Sorry, we just had to listen to our own stream as we're doing it live.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to fix it midstream. You know what I mean? I don't. Okay, Brandon hears us. All right, good. Hey, Brandon, you been watching any X-Men 97? That's how we can segue out of here. Out of this.
Yeah, time travel's illegal.
Yeah, that would be illegal.
Yeah.
So would a backstabbing Magneto would be illegal. I don't know how to say it.
How are you gonna do them dirty? Those X-Men with their time collars, or their bracelets, whatever they called them.
Yeah, so we're caught up on X-Men 97 season 2. We just watched episode 4 not long ago. Episode 3. I was quick recap on our last discussion. We both, I think, have been enjoying this season quite a bit. They haven't hit me with a. It's been good. It hasn't hit me with a. Was it Genoa? What is the name of that place?
Genosha.
The Fall of Genosha episode yet. Man, that was peak. That was so good. He said it is back now.
I think they're headed there, though. I don't know what they're going to do, but this week wasn't quite that level. Just because, a dude's a cockroach.
Right. Brandon says, didn't realize season 2 was back. Yeah. Either had I. I think it was just last week or the week before or something like that. And they dropped 3 episodes at once.
Last week. Yep. This week we got 1.
But I will say, yeah, this episode 3 was okay. It wasn't great, but it was also clearly, I guess, exposition. It wasn't necessarily just exposition heavy, but it was cramming a lot of story and setting up. It was setting some stuff up. I mean, we're essentially getting.
There's a lot of that. It's time travel and we can't mess with it.
Until we decide we have to try to mess with it. And then
we have to.
And then they do nothing. And then nothing. And then nothing. They accomplishes nothing. Or maybe they were always meant to mess with it to accomplish the thing that always happened anyway. And
I love how they went with the whole Kang thing where it was oh man, we're gonna just mess with the Kang. We're gonna stir that Kang pot again and be like, my name's Rama. My name is Victor. My name is Kang. My name is Immortus. He looked like Immortus. I don't know. It's oh man. Well, that's a deep dive for those uber Marvel nerds. And also, so fun.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know a lot about the cosmic Marvel stuff, but I do like seeing a Marvel property actually get far enough into it where it's okay, cool. We're doing a thing instead of getting to that and then bombing in the box office and then and then bringing back Robert Downey Jr. you know.
Right.
So X-Men's kind of doing the thing where it's okay, maybe this is almost where Marvel, the MCU was going a little bit, because we got the what is that thing? The Eternals God thing.
Oh, the Celestial.
Yeah. So I was I kind of recognize that iconography.
Was it Oscar Isaac? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac, that does who played Apocalypse. And I was like, man, they did that guy dirty, because this version of Apocalypse is so much better.
Right. Yeah, it's rad. Episode 4 in terms of the story was okay, I it does become frustrating. And I would say spoilers, but like, man, everything this season's so like time travel and ridiculous and crazy that
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna go too heavy on spoilers, but some things I feel like it doesn't matter. It was a little frustrating seeing things kind of go where you expect they're gonna go anyway, and it's like,
Yeah.
what was any of this really for? But I guess it does at least serve as like, well, here's his backstory though. Like, at least you get that out of it. You kind of get
Right.
his whole thing.
For a second, I thought they were going to do Age of Apocalypse, but like, how do you do that? Because like the way you do Age of Apocalypse is you send someone back in time to kill Xavier, and instead we like spoilers, we go back in time and Magneto dies.
Right. Right. That is a pretty heavy spoiler. I will say Magneto, man, he's so frustrating to me. He's so irritating because you know what? Professor X is upset now, but in the long run, it'll be good for him. That's a toxic relationship, and he needed to get out of it because he simply could not tell
Oh, so
Magneto
toxic.
ever. Where everybody else is like, dude, this guy sucks. He's a bad guy. He's gonna backstab us. Look, he backstabbed us again. And Professor X is like, I could save him, and he could save Apocalypse, and Apocalypse could save the world. And it's like, nope, none of that, dude.
Yeah.
It's just trouble.
And Rogue is just so given up that she's just like, yeah, whatever, try it.
Sure. Like, maybe it'll bring Remy back. I don't care. I got nothing to look forward to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I will say,
I'm curious what's going to go on there, because I feel like, you know, Remy was he was one of the Horsemen at one point.
right.
So like, I feel like that is a way to bring back Remy if you want to.
Yeah.
I think he was Death at one point. So that be a pretty easy way to bring him back from the dead, is to make him Death.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of suspect that's what they're gonna do. Maybe not, but like, I mean, they can kind of just do whatever. Things are so wacky. I'm very like at this point, I'm just very curious as to see like. I was kind of surprised. What's his name? Bob popped back at the end again. I mean, it makes sense. They got to get Professor X somehow. But I'm kind of curious as to like what was the future he jumped to? Was it the same? Has things just not changed since they didn't really accomplish anything? Or I don't know. Are there any effects from them being back there anyway, other than Magneto's situation? I will say,
well, if it's primary rules, no.
right. It did. Professor X did go hard. Professor X, I feel like he's maybe one of those characters where the writers are like, he's just kind of too strong, so we're only going to really have him try to utilize his powers sometimes. Because the whole time they're trying to stop, what's his name, from going to the machine and becoming Apocalypse, Professor X didn't do anything. He didn't try to get in his head until after he was Apocalypse. And it's like, well, it's too late now. He's too powerful. Like, there was no attack.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be super powerful. But I guess that's just
they got trapped by Kang. Like, Kang is like, I'm gonna suck you into my brain vortex thing, and it was like, can Kang even do that?
Right.
He's got his own Cerebro.
I guess though, like, it's kind of the meme of the animated series. Professor X spent more time like in shouting in pain from trying to do telepathic things than actually like doing cool telepathic things. I remember there's on YouTube somewhere, there's like a very long supercut of all the times he's like shouting in pain. Like they kind of took him off the board as often as they could. Just gotta check that we're still live. Yeah. I think we're still good. But Professor X did go hard in this episode in a way that shocked me a little bit, because it's so kind of out of character for him. Is after Magneto got Magneto node. That's not good. I was trying to think of a way to. Professor X is like basically told Apocalypse like your mother was right to leave you out in the sand, and what's his name should have let you bake as a baby in the desert. Like, I was a little shocked by it. I was like, whoa,
Yeah. Oh man.
whoa,
He
he's
was
very
mad.
upset.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you should have died as a baby. Your mom was right to abandon you. It's like that's pretty hard. Even that's pretty hard for Professor X. Okay, I think we're back to normal stream health. Took a while.
Good.
So what day is it? Is it Thursdays? What day is it new episodes come out?
It either comes out on Thursday or it comes out on Wednesday. It might be Wednesday. I don't know. I always wind up knowing about it on Thursday because somebody's like, episode 4, am I right? And I'm like, crap, I got to watch it.
Yeah, Wednesday. So it's probably Wednesday evenings. Oh, no, 3 a.m. on Wednesdays. Okay. Or
okay.
I guess that'd be 2 a.m. our time.
Just get up early.
Cool. I'm enjoying it. You know, there was some trepidation because what's his name that was like show running it or whatever got fired last season.
Oh yeah.
They're still working. Like his name's on some of the scripts still this season though. And hopefully whoever is doing it now kind of like knows what was working with it to begin with. But so far it's been good.
All they have to do is reference the 1990s.
That's right. They're still every like previously on, like it's still they still got a clip of somebody talking about the X-Men have to go back to the 1990s or get the X-Men back to 1997.
I don't know if anyone ever referred to it as the 1990s, but I suppose if you're a time traveler like Bishop, you would have to be very specific.
Right. Because in the 90s, it was just the 90s. So much so that was a thing. That's a joke that you'll see a lot on like sitcoms and stuff. It's like, hey, it's the 90s. I've seen people like revisit 90s stuff and be like, why do they always say that? What's that mean? Hey, it's the 90s. It's like, it was the 90s.
Not the 80s 90s anymore. Man.
It's the 90s.
No, that's right.
Should bring that back. Just keep saying that. Seemed like really a real sad.
It's the 20s.
Yeah. Hey, it's the 20s. Man.
Look, what? It's the 20s, my man. You know?
Man, we didn't get any of the cool 20s. What cool 20 stuff was there? I'm still waiting for like
the
flappers.
Roaring 20s,
flappers and
swing. And prohibition.
See,
I feel like we back to those politics. I feel like we've got some moral majority people that think they would like some prohibition of everything.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like that's true. You know what? Too much 20s. We need to go back to the 90s.
It's for the children. It's for the children.
It's like Wu-Tang.
That's right.
And Redman. The most famous of the Wu-Tang.
and Redman. Wu-Tang and Redman.
I mean, at this point, bad reviews are still reviews. Look it up.
That's right.
Redman, founding member.
No publicity isn't publicity.
He's going to start putting out blatant propaganda, like misinformation about Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know. I seen this.
You guys remember that time? You remember that time that Fred Durst was in Wu-Tang? That one song?
Right.
Yeah. He was in it.
Did I watch something that feels relevant to you? I feel like I did.
Fred Durst?
No, not necessarily Fred Durst. But like, nope, I did not. Never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Venom has a nose now. Did you take a good look at that? Like Venom's got a nose.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Right. Probably can't see it, but it's like, yeah, he's got like literal nose. I don't know. You'll have to take a look at the image online, I suppose.
I like the color
But I
palette.
don't remember him ever having nostrils before. Yeah, so MJ is Venom now.
How is
She just
it?
got over it.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
It's weird. It's weird right now. Like I'm coming into this like after it's been established for a while.
Sure.
So I assume it was not cool for quite some time, and like they've just come around to well, I guess you're in my body and I can't survive without you and you can't survive without me, so let's just do this thing proper.
Sure. All right. Yeah. And they're her own book, huh? Or maybe Venom's had their own book for like a while.
Venom's had their own book for quite a while, and Venom's been passed around a lot lately. Like, I started getting some Venom issues because Black Widow had Venom symbiote for a while, and I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. That makes a little bit of sense, and she's brutal enough that would be a good pair,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like Venom is just Venom, and Venom just gets passed around now. I don't understand that part because like once they were reunited with Eddie Brock, I figured, oh, well, that they'll just keep going with that, right? Nope.
That kind of makes for an interesting series. Like I've never read any Venom, like any of the solo Venom books, but that's interesting. It's like it's like the Doctor. Every so often, you get a little refresh, get a slightly new personality, kind of like that. That could be fun to work with, I suppose. Unless you hate what they're, of course, that's the risk with any comic books because they change creative teams so often. Is unless you just hate what the team is doing with it, then it's like, well, this series sucks now. But I don't know. It's interesting.
It's like when this was the weirdest era of Deadpool ever. Like for whatever reason, they must have thought that Deadpool just wasn't working, so they like all of a sudden like rebranded. And I was a subscriber, so I just started getting these Agent X comics.
Oh,
and it was Deadpool, but it wasn't really Deadpool. Do you
Weird.
remember? Do you remember Agent X?
No, not really.
Oh man, you should look it up sometime. It's confusing and bonkers. But yeah, like there was a point where they were like, yeah, I guess Deadpool's not really cutting it. And then they rebranded it just randomly and suddenly, and I started getting these Agent X comics, and I'm like, this is Deadpool, but it's not Deadpool, and I don't understand it at all. And then they tried to like, I don't know, they tried to like work it back into Deadpool again, and they did it in just a really ham-fisted, bizarre way.
Huh. He doesn't have like or at least the pictures I'm seeing, he doesn't have like a mask. He's got some sunglasses, but otherwise, like his scars on his face make X's. His face and stuff. Okay. Weird.
Yeah. And he's connected to Deadpool somehow, but I don't know exactly how.
Oh, that was like early 2000s, huh? Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, didn't know. Well, I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. How popular of a character was Deadpool before he turned into Van Wilderpool?
The mega sensation.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of people liked him, but I guess he just wasn't like a mainstay. He wasn't a Spider-Man, and everybody was like, he's just Spider-Man with guns. It was like, no, he's way better than that. He's crazy.
Right.
He's legit insane. Yeah. So I was always a big fan of Deadpool, and that's why I was a subscriber. It was for a while, it was the only book I read. And then they went and did that, and I was just baffled by it.
Weird. What else was there?
And I don't know how we got there from Venom, but there you go.
No, it works. It works.
There's some comic book talk.
Talk comics. Yeah, it's good. Man, I
Yeah.
fell off of comics once
Shoehorn that in
again.
there.
I always do. I can't even remember the name of the one Batman. It's not Absolute Batman. Around the time we were reading that, I was also reading this other Batman, Dark Patterns. Oh, maybe that's what it was. And I fell off of that, and I was loving that. I need to get back on that. I don't know. Maybe the series has ended at this point, but I would have had the trade, but the trade when I was reading it wasn't out yet. I just checked out some of the single issues. I liked that a lot because it felt like old school Batman, like I guess early 90s maybe Batman, slightly 80s, but that might just be me reading into it.
I got back into some comics because they've been like revisiting some franchises that like I know from my childhood and like continuing them. And just like I didn't think I'd ever get any like continuation of The Last Starfighter or Greatest American Hero. Like they came out with that first issue during Free Comic Book Day of Greatest American Hero, and it's crazy because it's like Ralph has been like running around with the aliens that gave him the suit in the first place, and he's basically just been an absentee father, and so like he tries to reconnect with his son and his granddaughter, and his son is just like no, you've never been a father to me. You've always been about whatever you're into and your crazy story about being a superhero. So
Yeah. What was it? There's been a couple things. I wonder if that Event Horizon comic ever came out. They were basically going to tell the story of what would have been a sequel in comic form. Probably.
I want to say I saw that again somewhere because somebody was like posted one of those. It was IDW. IDW posted an image and they're like, you can only keep 3.
Oh,
that's
sure.
Dumb.
Yeah.
I hate those. Like, no, such a dumb data mining social media trick to play. And you're doing it for engagement, but Meta's not. Meta's keeping that information and feeding it back to you in ads.
Oh, it looks like the trade for that, the trade paperback. So I'm assuming they're releasing those as single issues. Maybe not. But the trade is up for pre-order now. July 28th, it'll be out.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, I'm almost kind of current on some piece of comic book news anyway.
Hey, there we go. That's why you listen to this stream, to be current.
You just got to sit through 40 minutes of political talk and then get people unsure about what's happening with comics. Just happen to like, listen, Broken Clock and all that.
Listen, we love Mandalorian, but we can't watch Mandalorian and Grogu for another 4 years, and it has to be over Christmas.
You're right. You're right. That's funny. Yeah.
Because Star Wars is a Christmas movie.
That's so weird to me. You know what? I think I've seen other people say that, but I don't know. Maybe they must have run it on cable or on something around Christmas time every year. I do not have any Christmas associations with that movie at all, or with those movies.
I think they probably did that with the Ewok movies. Like, I mean, just
probably.
randomly they would run the Ewok movies, and I always look forward to those Ewok movies. They're terrible, but as a kid, I loved them.
It's so funny her insistence on that, but like she hates the whole like Die Hard debate. And it's like, well, yeah, but which one of those movies has Christmas music in it? I don't think it's Star Wars.
Right. Yeah. Well, and like I get it, but also it's the idea of like it's at a Christmas party, it's at Christmas,
right?
It's all this,
right. And at this point, everybody hates that debate. Like they're so over it, but
right. It's the Nickelback of debates.
It is. It is.
It doesn't even matter if it was good or not. It doesn't matter. It just stop.
Um, I haven't watched. I watched Obsession. I'm just trying to think of
Oh,
movies I've watched. I watched Obsession. There's a lot of hype for that movie. You can tell a movie is got a lot of hype or like is getting a lot of praise when inevitably there's at least one or two comments on every post about the movie about how it's overrated. Uh, I spend too much.
ha,
I spend too much time on Reddit. Um, it was good
I'm a
though.
little bummed that I haven't seen Supergirl. I'm assuming you
Right.
haven't either.
I have not. I do want. I was kind of excited for it.
I mean, it's James Gunn. I mean, it's not James Gunn, but it
Right.
is part of his universe. So he's got a say over it, and I haven't been disappointed by anything in his universe yet.
Right. That's the thing that tapered my expectations on it most. Like I knew he wasn't necessarily going to direct it, but then like, and not to say that the director hasn't done anything good, but like when I did find out who the director was, it's like, oh, he's not necessarily somebody who has like their own particular flair. And that's what I was hoping for. James Gunn has his own particular flair. For better or worse, Snyder had his own particular flair.
Sure.
And I feel like start handing those movies off to people who will bring something interesting to it. Like people are always talking about
Right.
superheroes dead. They're
Like
so
Edgar
tired of it.
Wright or something.
Right. Edgar Wright.
Can you imagine Edgar Wright writing for Lobo? That'd be awesome.
But that's how you I don't know, that's how you keep it interesting. I know that was it the second Doctor Strange movie? Was there just two?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that necessarily
Yeah.
did great, but I loved it because it was Raimi, and you could feel like he went full
Right.
Sam Raimi on it, and it made it unique to me. It kept it fresh.
Sure. It was definitely more fun than the first one.
Right.
First one was kind of wooden and stilted, and half the time I didn't believe the American accent.
Right.
Maybe because I had just watched too much Cumberbatch with his normal accent. And by now, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I've seen him in the Avengers movies. I've seen him in Spider-Man movies. He's kind of gotten that accent down now. It feels natural.
But the Supergirl cameo was fun in Superman. It was good. That's
Yeah.
enough. That's all I needed for an interesting setup to make me kind of want to check it out. And I just haven't yet because I haven't gone to see anything at this point. Like
Right.
it's kind of infrequent that I actually go out to the theaters.
Yeah. There's a bunch that I actually wanted to see. The Death of Robin Hood is an A24 movie. It's got
Right.
Hugh Jackman. It looks awesome.
Right.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Odyssey is probably going to make me go to the theaters because
Yeah.
that sounds awesome. It's Nolan, which
Right.
I don't love everything that Nolan's ever done, but Nolan's kind of an auteur right now. Like he's like one of the last filmmakers that's like, try and stop me. I'm going to do something weird.
And he gets
and y'all are going to pay me to do it.
Right. And he gets the budgets to like they're still event movies because he's still getting the budgets because people still go, he's very respected. Talk about some online discourse around that one. Are you not plugged into it at all? Good on you if you're not.
Not really, but I'm not surprised.
Even Elon's chimed in about it.
Oh,
he's not excited.
Oh, I saw something about that. Where he was gonna like rake Tom Holland, but he got the wrong one. Something. I don't know.
Real stupid stuff. And it's
but he's a genius.
Oh God.
Right?
Lots of race stuff. He's a genius.
He's a genius. That's what I always heard. I always heard how smart he is, and he just fixed everything. Sure did.
Right.
The fix is in, folks. Oh, why we're political?
I didn't even make that connection. Yeah. He fixes things. It's definitely focused.
He's the fixer.
I watched Three Amigos, 1986's Three Amigos.
Really?
I'd never actually. I did. I was obviously.
Okay. How'd it hold up for you?
So I've never actually watched the whole thing. Like I'd seen clips, of course, and I know what it is. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, listener, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, Martin Short, John Landis movie. It was a little disappointing for me. It was a little disappointing for me.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt going back to it in this era.
It's one of those movies too. It's one of those, like, especially 80s comedies that are kind of beloved, because like on Letterboxd, I guess there are some 2 stars ratings and stuff, but like in my friends lists, there's a lot of 4 and 5 stars. And I think part of my problem is I don't have the nostalgia for it, since I'd never actually seen the whole thing.
Sure.
I gave it 2.5. It was like, it was fine. It looked nice.
Sure.
It was entertaining enough. I got bored a little bit, but it got some chuckles, but it didn't get a lot of like laughs. I like to laugh.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase is hard to deal with anymore. Like
I was going to say that's part of it.
And I feel like you can tell in this movie, most of his stuff just seems like he's just not got anything to do, but also maybe he didn't want anything to do. Like he's there, but it's like so minimal.
It's kind of his character acting though, always was kind of like, I'm just kind of a dope.
Yeah.
Like my thing is that I'm not really paying attention half the time. I'm spacing off. I'm doing my own thing or whatever.
Not Chevy Chase, Steve Martin and Martin Short, though. I love those guys. And
those two are such a good duo. I mean, like they still are. That's what's amazing about those two.
Right. It's kind of a perfect example of like, and they do not seem to like Chevy Chase particularly. What was it? It was several years ago now, but they actually got all 3 of them together on one of the SNL. What do they call it? The 5 timers
reunions or whatever
club or whatever. Yeah, they have a skit every time a host does like hits 5 or 6 times. They have a skit where they bring other hosts who have done that or more. And one year they had all 3 of them there, and they kind of like wrote it into the joke that he clearly didn't get along with those other 2, but also you could kind of tell there's a lot of truth in the jokes.
Right.
And famously, he's hard to get along with. But I don't know. It went absurd. Like, it's so weird. It's such a weird movie because it's obviously a bit parody. It's a little goofy. And then at a certain point, they just go absurd, and there's a talking turtle and a singing bush and an invisible man. And like, it's like, whoa. Wait, we're going straight up live action.
They tried to do Monty Python.
Right. And then it kind of scales back again a little bit. I think the problem was it's not even that long. 103 minutes, I guess. It felt kind of long. But yeah, I don't know. That was a random like I think we have a Amazon Prime subscription still right now, so I'll just randomly hop on there and look around and be like, I should get some use out of this streaming service.
Sure.
And I'll just find something.
Right.
It's like the same reason I watched I think I probably mentioned it last time. Last month I watched Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
No, we didn't talk about that. Oh man.
I had never
talk about man, you're hitting some random classics there.
Right. It is one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I remember when that came out, but I never seen it because it looks stupid. Maybe I'll give it a try. I'm feeling like that one. I was like, I'm feeling some 90s nostalgia. Maybe I'll give it a try.
Sure. It's the 1990s.
It's the 90s, right?
It's the 90s, you know? Yeah.
I gave it also 2.5 stars.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Because
Yeah, because they're both exactly what you just said, and they're both like a product of that era and the
yeah,
humor of that era. And at the time, it was so funny. It was
right,
so funny at the time. It's not anymore because we don't live there anymore.
right.
We're not there anymore.
I will
Um,
say, Don't Be a Menace got more laughs out of me, but when it was
sure.
bad, it got more cringes at like Don't Be a Menace got more
Mm-hmm.
laughs out of me than Three Amigos, but it also got way more cringes out of me than Three Amigos did. Three Amigos was
Right.
just kind of like more flat line. Don't Be a Menace had some high highs, but it's some real low lows. So I was like right down the middle.
Yeah. Well, you think about those comedians in both camps,
Mm-hmm.
like the comedians of the 80s were more like absurdist and
Yeah.
just slapstick bonkers, and I'll make a weird face. Like Steve Martin was like the original Jim Carrey in a lot of ways. I'll just be kind of silly, and then you get into like the 90s, and us Gen Xers, we were all about like what's shocking.
That's true.
What's the thing you're not supposed to say?
That's true, but also like some of the absurdist carried over in like Marlon Wayans, and I kind of hated it.
Oh yeah.
I kind of hated his character in there because he always had to like put his mouth in a funny angle and have a funny face the whole
Mhm.
time, and it's just like, oh, it's
Oh
trying too
sure.
hard. But you're right. That is like a lot of the humor in Three Amigos was just them. Let's walk around funny and have our arms out and make a funny face and like, oh.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
yep,
the humor.
yep. Let's do a silly song. Let's do a weird hand jive thing.
And
It's
and
a mail plane. How can you tell?
okay, that one was good, except they kind of drilled it into the ground, but I did like that one
Yeah.
initially. Uh,
It's clever. It's clever. It's good humor.
I think
It's a good setup.
my
But yeah,
favorite joke, and it was just the way it was delivered, is when the three amigos finally figure out, like, oh no, because the whole thing is like it's kind of a period piece, and this like small Mexican village is being it's the stereotypical like Western setup of like they're being harassed by bandits. So they need to find somebody to
right.
protect the village. So they reach out to these movie studio uh Western stars back when Westerns were like singing a song and like, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. Very Broadway. And so the three amigos end up down in Mexico in this small village, not realizing like it's not a gig. It's like they're actually expected to like fight off these bandits. When they realize it's
Right.
not real, Steve Martin's character gets shot in the arm, and he just walks over and he's like, "It's real." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "They have bullets. It's real." And just like the straight delivery is what made me laugh.
Yes.
And the problem is most
Yeah.
of the comedy
Yeah.
is not that. Most of the comedy is like goofy. But yeah,
That's the genius of Steve Martin is like
yes,
he's known for a thing, but he knows when to flip it.
yeah,
He
yeah.
knows when to play against type.
And between
Yeah.
the three, the only one I give like a hard like a complete pass on in a good way, like on like let's do some funny dances and walk funny is Martin Short because that's like his whole thing. Like what
It
was the
is.
what's the famous character? Something with a G where he'd do the dance and he'd have his like legs together. Come on, Martin Short.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he's always playing. Like Martin Short is always playing that character, it seems like.
Yeah,
No matter what he shows up
Ed
in.
Grimley. That's it. Ed Grimley, where he'd have the
Oh,
like
that's right.
the
That's right.
stupid
Yeah.
spiked up, like, oh god, it's painful to look at. But it was funny. And like that's
Yeah.
he's such a like weird little dude that it kind of works for him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's right. So I often forget about that because he's like it's the opposite of like Paul Rubin. Paul Rubin had to be Pee Wee Herman to be funny.
Right.
But like Martin Short would play his character and then he could also be his other stuff too.
Sometime I might have to jump back on Only Murders. Is it Only Murders in the Building? Which was
Yeah.
the Martin Short
or
Steve
Murders
Martin.
Only in the Building,
Yeah, yeah.
something like that.
I
Yeah.
only ever watched the first season, I think, but I liked it. I just fell off of it.
Mm,
I might
sure.
have to go back to that sometime. It went for several seasons, if not still going. I feel like it might be over now, but I'm not sure.
So the things that I watched, like the thing that naturally transitions from this is like, so you talk about like this thing, and I remember it being funny back as a kid, but I did revisit it not too long ago because somebody was singing its praises. I was like, yeah, that was good. And so I went back and watched Three Amigos, and I had a very similar thing where it's like, there's some stuff here I still love, but it's nowhere near as good as I remember.
Right.
On the other hand, there are other movies that I know hold up, like Trading Places is still so good with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Like that thing's a classic.
Yeah.
So I know that some of them do just totally hold up, and they're still a product of their time. They still have their problems, but like they're just good movies and funny. So what I watched this week, I literally watched it today, and it was Dimension 20 finally. They finally had their finale, and that finale just feels like it came out of nowhere, sort of, because it's just like it's such a sandboxy season, and I can't wait for you to get there. And I won't spoil any of it, but it just goes completely off the rails. And like it's been such a bonkers cherry picking cherries, num num num. Such a just a bizarre season anyways, which the only thing that holds it together is the vampires, and the vampires are the most normal thing about it, because you've got ghosts, you've got Bigfoot, you've got smiling Richard Nixon, you've got just so many bonkers things, like the dog's the mayor. But the final episode, and it's a long one because they didn't split in half like they sometimes do,
right?
But they filmed the penultimate episode and the final episode back to back, and you can tell because of the way that penultimate episode ends and the energy that it ends on, and then it carries over into the actual finale, and that finale is just insane. And also knowing what happened in the adventuring party, which they film right after, like the adventuring party had kind of a manic, bizarre feel to it, and then they roll into this final episode, and it was so funny. They all laughed so hard, and I was just like, I was laughing the whole time. I can't wait for you to get to it, because it may be the funniest. They've had so many good episodes, but this may be the like pound for pound funniest Dimension 20. Nice. Because just like every time you think that it's done, that the wacky madcap is over, someone else jumps in with something that's so bonkers that it breaks someone. And they all broke at some point, I mean, they break a lot anyways in Dimension 20 because they're not trying not to, but oh my god, yeah. So many times did Lou probably breaks the fastest, because you say something absurd and he's like, what?
right.
And he just loses it. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard Shaban or Zach giggle. Like, they laugh all the time, but like they were straight up giggling at points.
I need to kick these random 80s and 90s comedy movies out of the bed and cozy back up to some Dimension 20. Yeah, I haven't progressed too far into the season, but I was enjoying it. I had to look it up. I was curious. So seems like there's 14 episodes total this season.
Yeah,
that's what the internet tells me. But
I hope they come back to this one. I hope they do a season 2 of this at some point, because it's just so weird, and there's still so many things that they could do with it. It feels like another Fantasy High kind of thing. Not quite, but like close enough. Like they're an ensemble of weird misfits that are like bound together by whatever.
Do they come back? I remember Brendan mentioning it once in the first few episodes. Do they come back to this like downtime mechanic they come up with?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like that because it vaguely reminded me of that like interesting mechanic they had in that last season of Fantasy High, where it was like you can focus on
Oh,
doing schoolwork or family, friends, or
yeah.
whatever. Like, I really like that mechanic.
But you're gonna, yeah, but then like if you messed up, you get stress tokens or whatever,
Yeah,
or you could
yeah.
spend, you could take a stress token so that you could still power through or whatever, but at your own detriment.
Yeah, that's a fun mechanic, and I remember him talking about some type of like downtime mechanic, and I'm sure it works differently in this, but I was like, ooh, fun
Yeah, it
homebrew
carries through
mechanics.
pretty well, and sometimes it works well, and sometimes it's like blurring the lines of this is downtime, this isn't downtime.
Right.
But
Uh
yeah,
cool.
not every episode is as good as that last episode, but there's some good stuff that runs
Sure.
throughout, and then that final episode is just so bonkers, so crazy. The one thing I will say is at least twice the joke is made that Brendan doesn't really understand this game.
Okay.
It's like, look, I don't really know this game very well. And then
Right.
he just proceeds. And
Right.
it was a pretty good bit.
Yeah, I do like them also. I know they don't always stick to the exact same, but I do like them branching out to a different game system, even though it,
Yeah.
I mean, mechanically it makes it different, but like they're still
Yeah.
basically doing the same thing. So like it's fun. It's just some
It's
fun.
so bonkers when because in that last episode they even referenced that several times where they're like, yes, you can offer the help mechanic from 5e.
Right.
Or yes, you can roll that with advantage. And then there's like a thing where they don't know what to do, so he's just like, okay, here's the house rule, and I won't blow that one for you because that one's too fun.
Okay.
But there's an at the table decision for how many dice to roll, and it's just insane.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun. Because
So yeah, that's one of the main things I watched was that. I think I'll probably have to go back to Never Stop Blowing Up because that sounds like another one that's just supposed to be stupid and funny.
right. What else? Oh, we don't have to talk about Lestat much because we're not quite in the same spot, but I've been enjoying Lestat. It's such a show where it could specifically this season could fail so easily because it's doing the thing where it's
Mhm.
like trying to be super cool. Lestat's trying to be cool and
Right.
he's a rock star, and the music is like not bad, but it's also like it could be so cringy, and it is maybe a little bit, but for the most part it's working for me. Like I kind of enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I need to mute
Also,
my
it
phone.
doesn't hurt that like they're the way that they're playing it is that Lestat is slowly kind of losing it.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
he's not doing okay.
Gumroad, what more information do you need from me? You could sell like digital stuff on Gumroad. At some point I put my
No,
music.
yeah, no.
Yeah, I was just trying to diversify in case
Sure.
Bandcamp ever went away. Just like the one platform you kind of have most control over as a musician. But anyway.
Sure.
Man, some of the incest stuff. In episode 4, I think it was episode 4, which is the last one I watched. It gets pretty heavy into it, and it's just like, whoa. Really weird. As I think I said before we were on the show, I loved Armand going around making amends, doing his 12-step program thing. That is like just a vampire going around doing that. It's just so funny to me. I don't know what
Even the
becomes of it.
last was the episode before that is where you get the reveal that he's in the circle and you're like,
yep.
Why?
Yeah.
And now you get to see why. You're like, oh.
I'm very curious, and I'm
He's
sure they've probably
little,
revealed it more in the most recent episode. But like the one guitarist came back to the band who knows Armand, but I think he doesn't really know who he is, and that seems like it was maybe
yeah,
revealed a little bit at the concert at the end of that the episode I watched. So I'm curious as to where that's going. Uh, yeah, man, so many sad boy vampires. So many sad boy
right.
vampires. Makes sense.
It is so jarring to go from the vampire Lestat to the D20 vampire thing because they're just, like they're just ridiculous with the tropes that they decide to latch onto. But then
Sure.
this is very like, I mean, it's not like beat for beat the Anne Rice vampire, but it is the Anne Rice vampire,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
a distinct thing. It
Interesting.
was the 90s.
It's the 90s. It is a very distinct type of thing. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm glad so far it's as good as it is. The music's so interesting. I'm trying to like pin down what it is. It seems very 70s rock, but it's not just that. It's got like 70s rock vibe.
It's like a British rock kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
it's like a souped up Rolling Stones
And some of
thing.
it,
yeah, it's hard to peg, but it feels familiar.
Yeah. It's not bad. I don't know that I would see it burning up the streaming charts, but who knows? Maybe.
Right.
They
Even in the show, they're not.
Yeah.
Like they've got their diehard fans, but as a whole, they're not that popular.
Right. That's been like the whole thing, and he seems kind of sore about it not being able to fill certain venues and only getting about 1,000 in a venue. Any more than that, it doesn't really work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about that. And X-Men really. Oh, House of the Dragon.
I haven't
only
even cracked into that yet.
We've only watched the first episode of this new season. I don't even know how many are out. They're really long episodes.
Right.
I mean, just over an hour. It's not that much longer, but I think this first episode was an hour, 5 hours, 7 minutes, and it felt long only because even though it's an hour long show, like you kind of have an idea of when a show it's an episodic show. So you're like, oh, it's going to be ending anytime soon.
Yeah.
And at least that first episode, there's a battle, and it didn't feel boring. Like I was in for it. I was all in for it. Like I was down, but the battle feels like it goes on forever. I'm like, how long is this episode? It felt almost movie length. And really good first episode. And I've heard good things about some of the more recent episodes. So so far this season's pretty decent. Have you been keeping up with that show at all? The House of the Dragon or whatever it is.
We were current.
Okay.
I don't know how much of it I remember because it's so long in between seasons.
Yeah.
No, I mean, all I remember is that Matt Smith's character was essentially on board again at the end of the season.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, our house is no longer divided.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the vibe they give. It's like, no, I'm all in now.
The show's interesting because I like it, but you're right. Like, it's not memorable. Like I remember some of the seasons of Game of Thrones being,
right.
It's well made. It's well written. Some of the characters I actually really like. I like the Queen lady, whatever her name is. Kind of the central character if there is one. But it's not quite as memorable to me. Yeah.
It doesn't help that they're all from the same house, essentially. They're just a house divided. So a lot of them look the same or have similar names. That gets confusing. As do the dragons. So
and there There hasn't been a lot of
and
variety
yet
in
there's not as
setting.
many paths.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. But yeah, whatever. It's still good.
Oh, and then they were also bringing in all the bastards, like all the
Yes. Yes.
was it yeah, the people who were unacknowledged heirs or whatever, bloodkin or whatever, that could possibly ride dragons, that kind of thing.
There is definitely a show like, I mean, they're not pulling punches, which I kind of feel like the last season of Game of Thrones, that was a little bit of the problem. They were pulling punches and then throwing punches they probably shouldn't have been. But there's definitely some stuff in that first episode where it's like, no, what are you doing? Like, just the like dumbest thing. I mean, dumb it not in like, this is dumb writing, why would they make the character do this? But like, okay, I kind of understand how we got here, but man, this person is an idiot, and it's only going to result in horrible things, and it does, So it's good for that type of stuff. Yeah,
you got to have that once in a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But is it memeable? We need a guy. You know what the show needs? It needs a guy taunting another guy who's been castrated with a sausage, shaking the sausage at him. Like, that's like,
oh my god,
you can find that gif of the guy with the sausage. Like,
yeah,
I would occasionally send that to Melanie just because she hates it. So I'd send her that gif and laugh to myself.
Yeah, that was the hardest. I mean, but yeah, that's the one thing I will give House of the Dragon is like there's not as many characters to have to try to track.
Yes, that's true.
Whereas in Game of Thrones, like at a certain point, it's like, oh, good, there's a red wedding. Oh, we can forget about some of these people.
Thin out the numbers, man. There's too many. Yeah, you're right.
Like,
you're right.
Who is this? I don't even care anymore. Rob, he's gone.
It's a good point. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why like you'd get less of that as the series went on, because they're like, man, we just needed to try to get some of this ensemble cast out of there. We can't afford half of them. You can't remember them. So occasionally you got to have a red wedding. Have a red wedding. It'll be a beautiful wedding. The reddest wedding you've ever seen.
Be a beautiful wedding.
The big, beautiful wedding.
I think I mentioned it off of camera last week, but I got started in on Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Right.
I don't think we talked about it on the stream.
I
think I talked about it afterward. And so like Peacock is gonna like adapt that, and so that's gonna be a series. And I don't know how I feel about that, because these books are so weird in that they would work pretty well as a TV series, but there's not like the through line is survival. The through line is like a nonstop, constant Hunger Games. Like the whole point is to not die, and it feels like a video game. And the thing that keeps you pulled in is that it's this just regular, not regular, like the dude is former Coast Guard or whatever, but like just kind of an average dude that's a little bit more physically fit than your average guy would be, who's stuck with his ex-girlfriend's cat, who gets like super meta intelligence kind of thing. Like she gets an enhanced pet biscuit that makes her able to talk and way more powerful than him. And so then she becomes party leader because whoever's got the most stats becomes the leader of the party. And so she gets to like edit things, and she's Princess Donut, or whatever. And like, that's their actual titles as they go on through the dungeon, because the cat is better equipped than he is. And he's like in the dungeon in his boxers because he was out in the snow trying to get the cat who had gotten out when the aliens invaded.
Yeah, right.
So like a bunch of people died because they were indoors, and they just collapsed buildings or whatever, and so anybody that was indoors just died. And then the rest of them were like basically forced down into these dungeons so that they could engage in this intergalactic reality show which is basically like a real life video game. And
Right.
it's bonkers and it's madcap and the creators uh they like from the beginning they kind of had this audio aesthetic to it, and they have their sound booth theater, and they have their like super immersive version that you have to go to their website for.
Hmm.
um but it's just world and character building so far. So like
Right.
if there's a criticism that I have, that's it. And so like even when I went in, like we were talking about this earlier, when I rated this thing, it's like I rated the first book as a 5, not because I think it's the Lord of the Rings, not
Right.
because I think it's Slaughterhouse 5. It's not the Great Gatsby. It's not on that level, but I would still give the first book a 5 because it's doing something that's never really been done in book form.
Sure.
And so like going forward, no. I'm not
Okay.
going to give this. I'm not giving
Interesting.
another book in the series a 5. I mean, like it's gonna have to knock my socks off, take the wind out of my sail somehow to get a 5 from me, because I don't believe in that. I'm so tired of this 5-star because I like you thing.
Sure. Sure.
That's like I've gotten to that point, I guess, where I'm kind of like, you give things 5 stars because they were passing, like you're like,
Sure.
well, you've got to give the Uber driver a 5-star. Oh, you've got to give this thing a 5-star because you know them. You've got to give it a
Sure.
5-star.
Sure.
You like this podcast, but you guys, what you should do is go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever,
Mhm.
and give the Grawlix podcast 5 stars, even if we haven't released an audio episode in a while.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I hate the whole, like, it better be Pulp Fiction to get a 5-star out of me.
Interesting. All right.
It better
all right.
be like a master class of something. Like that's the standard that I want to hold things to. If you're
Sure.
going to get a full 5 stars, and 4 is dang good.
Yeah.
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 4 is dang good.
I
don't
feel
know.
like
This is
that's
kind of a tirade because I've gone through this recently where I was like, I'm trying to rate this book of poetries, and I'm like, it's good. It's a 4-star. And then I see I'm the only one that's given it less than a 5-star. Or there's
right.
the one jerk that's way low. I was like, it's not a 2, but it's not a 5. This is not Yates. We're not talking Robert Frost here,
Sure.
but it's good. And a 4 is cool. And my 4-star review is not going to ruin this guy's day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe, I don't know. Different things are definitely held to a different standard where, a 3 stars, like, oh, 3-star.
I know.
But, I mean, movies are my obvious go-to for rating things, because I will rate a movie 5 stars and be like, yeah, it's got flaws. It's not perfect, but I watched it 7 times since it was released. But there are other,
listen,
but at the same time,
Back to the Future is a 5-star movie.
right.
And it is not a 5-star movie.
Right.
It's not perfect.
Right.
There's a lot of flaws in that movie, especially if you know film. But it's perfect in my mind. I could watch it anytime and be engaged.
But by the same token, like, a 3-star movie to me is still a good movie. Like, 3 stars, I like it.
Absolutely.
But there are situations like your Uber driver or whatever, where anything less than whatever, I've never taken an Uber anywhere, so I don't know how it works. I did take a Lyft. I did take a Lyft somewhere once. Anyway, I made them drive from Omaha to out here. I don't think they were expecting that. It's like, the app let me do it, I'm gonna do it. Half price because it was like my first ride. Oh, sorry, dude. Anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's not a good deal. Oh man, that's when I was still working in Omaha and my car broke down out here.
Sure.
Anyway, but like, I get it. Anything less than perfect is like kind of bad for them. But that's like, that's not their fault, but it's also like not my fault. That's a flaw in the system.
If you're not giving a movie 5 stars on Rotten Tomatoes, then you are review bombing it.
That's actually a good point. And that's something I hadn't really thought about, because when I'll look at Rotten Tomatoes stuff, if it's not certified fresh, which isn't necessarily 5 stars, but it's pretty high grade, like I'm a little weary of it. I mean, if I took most of the ratings seriously, but yeah, I don't know. But that's also where, like, I kind of picked years ago, and it especially came up during GCU, picked the way I approach movie ratings on Letterboxd specifically, because I'd have the problem of like, man, I really like this movie. I think it's great. I want to give it like 5 stars because I've watched it 100 times. Is it as good as Citizen Kane? Probably not. Is Citizen Kane really that entertaining? Not really. It's kind of slow. Like, it's an amazingly made movie, but it's kind of slow.
Yes.
But can I give that less? Like, comparing ratings for some things is real rough. Like, once you start getting into that, for me, is where I'd get held up. So I just ended up like, I get wanting to be like stingier with the high ratings.
Right.
But then I just had to like default to like, what's my gut instinct on this and this alone, and try not to compare it to other things, just to get this out, because it's really not that big of a deal. But if you want like,
no.
if you're going by like, yes, 5-star means it's better than most other things, I totally get it being stingier with it.
Sure.
I don't know why it's
I try to be consistent, you know, like,
sure,
like within a genre. If that's relevant. Like, sometimes it's not even relevant. But like, if I'm like, okay, I had a good example. And I lost it. Well, I can tell you what the bad one was like if I'm thinking horror, then for me, like almost like a really good horror movie would be like, I don't know. For me, Alien is a pretty rock solid horror movie, right?
yeah.
It's the only one that's coming to mind. I had a better example a moment ago, but I lost it. But then there's Puppet Master, you know, and I love Puppet Master, but I know better.
Right.
You know, like, it's not, it doesn't, it's probably going to get a 3 for me for just entertainment value, but I know that it's not great. You know, like really some of those are kind of unwatchable.
Right.
Too far. Yeah. So I don't know. There's that, but then then there's somebody who's going to do something inventive and bizarre.
Sure.
And that kind of breaks the scale, but then they become their own thing.
Right. I like that. Like, Letterboxd also has a heart. You can heart a movie in addition to ratings. And that throws a lot of people off.
That's right.
But I kind of like it, because sometimes I'll give something maybe 2.5 stars. It's trash, but I kind of really liked it too, so I'll give it a heart. Then again, if I give something 5 stars and a heart, that's kind of saying the opposite, where it's like, it's probably not a 5-star movie, but I love it, so it's getting 5 stars and a heart.
Sure.
The point is, you can't. I think I do see a lot of ratings discussion on like the Letterboxd subreddit and other things, where some people have some crazy notions where they're like really hardcore, where they're like, no movie will ever get a 5-star from me, because no movie is,
I don't believe in that,
truly perfect. It's like, well, then what's the point of the 5-star? Like, what good is
such
that
thing as a 5? Yeah.
And then there's other people who are the complete opposite. They're like, it's really hard to make a movie. The fact that they made anything is amazing, so everything gets 5 stars. And it's like, well, then what's the point of any? What's the point of the rating in general?
I can't get on board with that either.
So those are like the two extremes. But I think the problem with like your case, where you're like, I don't want to feel like the a-hole for giving this guy's poetry 4 stars, when 4 stars should be amazing, but compared to everybody else, you gotta like, I know in some situations, like if I'm on Amazon, like I want to buy something that has lots of stars, but then again, you can't even trust those.
Sure.
But for the most part, like, you got to find people, like, if you're going by ratings for a thing, find people who's like, you got to almost acclimatize yourself to people's specific ratings. Like, this guy has similar taste to me.
Mm-hmm.
I get what his ratings are. I kind of agree with that, whatever. Like, it might be a little wacky, but I see where they're coming from, and maybe like weigh his opinion more than someone else's. Stuff like that. I don't know.
On Amazon, I look for the 3-star review because those typically have a good blend of what's right and what's wrong. And they tend to be pretty rational.
That's good. Yeah. That's a good way to go about it, because like the 5-star reviews could just be they like it. A lot of times it's like they just got it in the mail and they're like, yeah, it's great. And it's like, well, you haven't even used it yet. And then half the times it's a bot or a paid thing. And then the 1-star, like I shouldn't make shopping so much harder. I'll look for the lowest reviews first just to see like what's wrong.
Sure.
But I think you're right with going with the 3-star, because that's not somebody who's just PO'd that they got a shipment that's damaged or something. That's somebody who got some use out of it and was like, it's not the worst, but here's the problem. That's smart. That's a smart way to go about it.
Yeah, if there's a 3-star review, I look for those first. And I look at the 1-stars, but usually it's exactly what you just said. It's like somebody got one that was broken. And what are the odds of that, though? You know, like the 1-star reviews are typically that like fringe part of the percentile curve, you know, where it's like, of course, there's going to be some people that get some stuff that's broken. It's just the law of averages, is that if somebody's got a perfect one that's amazing, then someone else is going to have one that's not.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's,
and I'm not a math guy,
and it ties into, I mean, it's just kind of dipping your toe on all of them. I think it's beneficial if there's the same issues that in the negative reviews that keep coming up, then it's like, okay, well, there might be some credence to it. But a lot of those 1-star reviews are like, yeah, I get it, that sucks, but like, you know, you kind of take a gamble anytime you buy something, especially online, and you lost on that gamble. Anyway, is this entertaining for people? Who is this show for?
Who is this stream for? Yeah, I don't know.
How long have we been going?
But we did get into a pretty interesting discussion about ratings. Who knew we were going there tonight?
Right.
Oddly political at the beginning and weirdly pedantic at the end. It's amazing.
It is amazing. I was going to yell out for Melanie, but she really should be in bed by now if she's not, so I'm not going to do it. Oh, we kind of went long too. We went long last week as well. We're going to have to break ourselves with that, especially when it comes time to get towards school year again.
Because we won't have a stream next week and all that. But like, I don't know. I got to thinking about this also because Middle-Aged Movie Review.
Yeah.
They just released one on Planet of the Apes. And for me, Planet of the Apes is another one of those movies that would be a 5-star.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, and it's not like for the modern movie viewer. No way. No, you've got to know what you're in for with that. But like of the time, that movie is a masterpiece. It's amazing. Like I'm astonished that they're able to do what they're able to do with like practical costuming effects at the time, the weird musical choices that they make. The way that they're able to give you that complete like shocking twist at the end where it's like, oh, it's Earth. It's been Earth all along. And of course, like for most people, that twist has been ruined. It's just as amazing, you know, like obvious now as Luke, I am your father. Like everybody knows the twist, but the movie itself is just like, oh, this is cool. You feel like you're in another world, and then when you find out it's not, you're like, what?
And even
what happened?
I mean, yeah, that is the case of like, or Psycho has the same thing too, where it's so inground in pop culture that, you know, younger people coming to it, I don't know, we're starting to get far enough from things that even things like the Psycho twist and all that are being lost on people.
Psycho twist, I bet people won't see. Yeah, I bet some people won't see that coming because they never heard
about
the Bates Motel.
like the references have kind of started to fall out of pop culture. Whereas like the Statue of Liberty reveal and all that, like it's so ground into pop culture that or it's anything that sets trends to where you watch it now and you're like if you hadn't watched it when it first came out,
yeah.
it just seems cliche. It's like, oh no, this created the cliche. It's cliche because everybody
Yeah.
loved this and then started doing that same thing over and over. This was
Yeah, it's like
groundbreaking.
bullet time.
Yeah,
Like everything got slow motion after the Matrix, you know, like bullet time was just everywhere.
but it was revolutionary when it happened. Like that's why.
Yeah.
So that makes it tough, and that I guess kind of is also like when you're looking at people's ratings, kind of getting an idea of like where they're coming from. If you're really going to base your opinion or whatever on their rating, but and it can be hard to separate that. Like I'll watch a thing sometimes and be like, oh, well that does seem cliche, or I kind of knew that twist coming, but I could see, I don't know. I'll take that in consideration. But I also like, I mean, I don't love old movies because they're old movies, but I'll watch some old movies. I rewatched Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window the other night, and I love that movie. It's so good.
God. Yeah.
That's a 5-star, even though I was
Yeah.
slightly confused by the end because I feel like they had to be vague because there's like a gruesome detail that's revealed at the end, but because it's of the time period, they had to be vague with it. And I was like, wait, what were they trying to say? And it's like, oh yeah, no, the lady's head was in a box. Okay. And that's kind of like
right.
a bummer that they couldn't just be a little bit more forthright with it, but like they still did it. It's just there was a limitation of the time,
Right.
But whatever, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I read.
So go listen to that episode. It was a great episode of Middle-Aged Movie Review.
What movie did they do?
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. I forgot what even got us started on that.
It was their most recent one. Yeah.
I read somebody's negative. I'm on my way to a 500-day streak on Reddit, and I've got to stop. I've got to get off of there. It's becoming an increasingly more and more negative experience. Because I was reading a thing where somebody was like ranting about how Pulp Fiction's a terrible movie, and people just like it because of Gen Xers or something like that. When it came out, you'd only like it if you watched it when it came out, and it's like, what? I mean, I could understand not everybody's going to like that movie, but like, it was just the opinion of like, it's not really a good movie. It's a bad movie. It's just people are jaded because of this or whatever. They're biased because of this. And it's like, you can just say you didn't like it, man. You don't have to like, diminish the movie itself. It doesn't have to be for you, but that doesn't mean everybody's tricked into thinking this thing is good when it's actually terrible.
When then do they, like those kind of reviews, do they offer up anything of substance, like why they feel that way? Because then that's the thing is like, that's the other end of the scale. It's like, okay, so then what is a 5-star review?
Right.
You know, like if you think that Pulp Fiction is crap, then what do you hold in high regard? Because there's gotta be a scale. Otherwise ratings are nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I think, and that one really irritated me too, because, and this is maybe my problem with Reddit, because I've been on it for so long and I keep seeing more and more of these, it's the contrarian take. It's the contrarian take. Yes. It's like, is that what you really think? Or is that like you're edgy going against the grain take?
Yeah.
Are you being genuine? Are you being are you being your authentic self? Or are you just being a D-bag? Like, man, because I see so many contrarian takes, and it's like, maybe you didn't like that, but then you didn't have to go to every post that's talking about that thing and tell me that you didn't like it or say how it's overhyped every time you see it. Just ignore it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just because Thor: Love and Thunder was not as good as Thor Ragnarok does not mean that Thor Ragnarok was trash. Suddenly,
Right,
like it was
right.
never good. We were all fleeced. No, no.
That's the you're all
It's
fleeced. And I mean, there are movies. I think about this sometimes. There's some stuff where it's like I used to love. I was thinking about Dennis Leary earlier today, and I like Dennis Leary.
oh wow, yeah,
But I was
okay,
thinking about
yeah.
like I tried to revisit one of his '90s stand-up specials a while back,
Oh, I bet
and I
those
was
were
like,
tough.
"Oh, this is so cringy." But I loved it
Yeah.
back in the day. What
Oh
happened?
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
there
It
are
was edgy. It
instances,
was yeah,
right? There are instances where a thing might age poorly, but the idea that like, oh, I was tricked into thinking it was good, or
right.
everybody just praises this movie because they're tricked into it, or they think it makes them sound smart. It's like, no, no, I don't know. I feel like that's more insight to the way
Things evolve.
they view things than the way things actually are.
Yeah. It was like Dane Cook was super rock star level famous for
Yeah.
his comedy for a while. And then everybody flipped on it and he became the Nickelback of comedy.
Yep. Yeah.
Same thing with Nickelback. Like, and I often am like, I often use Nickelback as an example, not because I think that they're terrible. I thought that their original, like their several of their early albums were amazing, and then they fell into studio generic.
Sure.
Where
Sure.
just everything started to sound exactly the same, and it's like, well, it's because they had to keep churning out hits, and after a
Yeah.
while, you've got to have a formula. Otherwise, how are you going to put that many albums out?
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of time in between. Like that's the thing that people don't think about is like, if you want everything to be unique, you're not a lot of Stevie Wonders out there anymore.
Right.
And
Right.
even Stevie Wonder made a soundtrack for a documentary about plants. So
Right. Right. Right.
yeah,
It's almost like art is subjective or something. I mean, that's
might
crazy.
be it might be, and that might be why we're I don't know. We're in such a weird time. And I think that's where
Yeah.
the maybe that's why the ratings thing is in my craw right now, because the other way to rate things is money. And a lot of movies right now are tanking in the box office. And
Right.
people are trying to ascribe a worth to the movie based on, or a merit to the movie based on a box office number. And I don't know that that's relevant anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, what was Furiosa? I didn't Furio Furiosa was a slight disappointment to me because Mad Max Fury Road
Sure.
is like one of the greatest action movies of all time, in my
Amazing.
opinion.
That's a
So
5-star movie.
yeah, so it's gonna be hard to live up to that. That said, I still think it was awesome, and if I remember correctly, I think it bombed. I don't think it did very well. Um,
Yeah, I don't think it did really well. No.
like it happens sometimes. It's just a matter of timing. Sometimes the marketing just didn't hit the right spots, and sometimes like people just don't. I would like to. I wouldn't have minded this. I wanted to see Mandalorian and Grogu in the theater at some point in time, and then at a certain
Sure.
point in time, I was like, maybe it's not that big of a deal. And then when I had the chance to go to the theater, I was like, Obsessions and Backrooms. I want to see both of those. Those are really more my jam.
Right.
I'm gonna opt for that instead. And right now, Supergirl's like,
Yeah.
I'm just not hitting up the theaters right now. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah. It's already like disappearing. Like it's not, I mean, this won't shock you. It's not, but it's not in Fremont anymore.
really,
But I was like, what is, what Toy Story 5 is still there.
and then
And
that's
then we've
also the
got some of the
problem
newer
with.
movies.
I mean, the whole like that being equating to the rating. Like, well, it's a bad movie, then it's not necessarily bad. I mean, I don't know. It could be. I haven't seen it, but um, but then I've seen Supergirl bombed. Superhero movies are dead, and it's like, well, man, we've been hearing that for like 10
Yep.
years now. What are you talking about?
Right. Yeah.
What
We're going to have a
lesson?
Spider-Man movie that's going to prove that wrong. And then
Right.
probably an Avengers movie that's going to prove that wrong. And then maybe the next Superman movie will prove that wrong.
And we'll get whatever, the next iteration of a Madam Web or Morbius comes out, and that'll prove it right again. And superhero movies are
That'll prove
dead.
it right again.
We'll get maybe a Clayface that'll bomb, but like kind of be awesome.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Who knows?
It might get cult reverence kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
I can't wait for that. That's because that's gonna be so weird. It's gonna be like, this is James Gunn. this fits in the universe,
right? I mean, I like
but Creature Commandos was amazing.
I like his notion, the way, at least kind of the way he's pitched it in the past, is like less a MCU or a DC EU style where every movie feels like it's a part of this mold, and more a bunch of movies kind of interconnected, but each its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like such a smart way to go about it. But I feel like that also makes maybe the studio scared. Who knows? But that then becomes the problem of like one of them flops, like a Supergirl, and then everybody's like, superhero movies are dead, and the studio gets scared and starts pulling funding or green lights for these more interesting ones. It's like, let that one flop and see what happens with the next one. Just keep moving, man. Keep moving. Seems like a smarter way to go.
Yeah. If they stopped making superhero movies because Blue Beetle didn't hit, like what?
And then there's a lot of
gotten Deadpool,
what's the lesson that Hollywood will take from Backrooms and Obsession doing so well? And they're like, we got to find more creepypastas or whatever YouTubers. And it's like, no, I think the lesson should be not every movie needs to be a tentpole. You need to bring back the mid to lower level budget movies. It used to be you'd have a tentpole once in a while, but otherwise you'd have a bunch of mid-level movies. If something flopped, it didn't buckle your studio. But when something hit, Blumhouse has made
the chance on something
right
that's different, as opposed to always rebooting or finding something that fits safely in a niche that should make money.
I mean, I don't want all superhero movies to look cheap going forward, but like, I don't mind if they reel in the budgets a little bit if they're delivering something interesting. And if it's flopping,
Teenage
doesn't mean they have to.
Turtles.
Right.
The first one, is a little bit ratchet, but it was awesome. There's a reason that everything's set at night.
It was an independent movie, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it was basically an independent movie, and it did gangbusters. And that's kind of what we're seeing with like Obsession. Made $400 million, crossed $400 million on a $750,000, like less than $1 million budget. Crazy. And Blumhouse, I know it's horror, but Blumhouse has like made their whole thing based on that, where they will, I mean, I think they'll do a higher budget movie once in a while, but they produce a ton of lower to mid budget movies, because the ones that hit and make a bunch of money cover all the ones that flop. Take some chances.
Sure. Yeah.
Take some chances, Hollywood.
A24 does weird stuff, but they do spend money on it.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm very curious.
Not all of them.
I'm very curious as to what they're going to do, because I think they've had enough hits like that have kind of blown up that they're starting to branch out into like I'd read a while ago, they wanted to do an action movie or like something with The Rock or something. It's like, oh, okay. All right. You're getting brave now, huh?
That's not man.
Yeah. People like you. And that's the problem. Like when you get there's a brand recognition to the production company, I guess, or the distributor. They don't even necessarily produce everything. They'll buy movies from people that are already produced.
Right.
But you got to be careful once you get that brand recognition, because you start running that into the ground with not even flops. Like if it flops, that's fine. But like if the movies suck, that can hurt you more than I would think a flop would in the long term.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're just
because I think of like Green Knight and
right.
Like, those kinds of movies, like that's what I like from A24 is when it's going to be a little weird, You know, I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna get. And so like Hugh Jackman, Death of Robin Hood, like this is like, oh, and is it filmed in Ireland or Scotland? I don't know, but it looks awesome.
I think, let me double check this. Let's see. I mean, I think they're involved with the Friday the 13th prequel series that's going to be coming to Peacock at some point.
Oh, wow.
And I guess that makes sense in a like
okay
horror way. But yeah, they'll serve as the studio behind the series. But that's kind of a weird high profile thing to get involved in. I mean, horror aside, like that's kind of branching out a little bit from what they're known for.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, it's like back in the day, Focus Features, which is really just like I think they were an imprint of Sony or something, maybe Disney. I don't know. They were like an imprint of something, but they put out so many interesting movies. I think like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, stuff like that, to where like there was brand recognition. I was like, oh, Focus Features, I'll check that out. But then eventually they just put a bunch of stuff out that I wasn't that interested in. I was like, I just kind of lost interest.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the danger. Like, I get you need to grow, and sticking to a niche at a certain point can be limiting to you, but it's also kind of a risk to expand out of that niche and alienate the audience that kept coming back. I don't know. It's kind of like doing a comic book podcast for years and then just dropping comic books and doing live streams where they talk about politics and rating systems.
Who is this stream for?
Who's this for? All right,
we should. Time we talk about YouTube series, yeah. We should have probably wrapped this up. Half an hour ago?
Yeah,
hour ago. We're making up for last week, guys.
So you won't be here next week,
Brandon.
Yeah. I haven't seen a new message from him for a while, so I think Brandon's gone.
No,
that's fine. I think
getting ready for Comic Con. I got a show this weekend, and so we'll be back at it in 2 weeks, maybe.
So Comic Con weekend after next. Wait,
weekend after this.
Weekend after this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
So
this weekend I have a show on the 11th, and then next weekend, so it'd be like the 17th, I believe.
Okay,
is when it starts.
You'll be at Comic Con
18th and 19th.
Where is that happening?
Yeah. Mid-America Center in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Okay. Whoops. I opened a thing I didn't mean to. Cool. Well, if anybody plans to go to that, you should go. Are you going to have like the Tank Monkey Studios thing set up? Is that
Tank Zombie Studios?
Tank Zombies.
Bringing it back. Yeah. Axton will he'll come out of retirement for
nice.
Yeah, he's coming out of his convention retirement for this. I mean, he's not totally retired, but like he mainly did free comic book day events, that kind of stuff.
Slow down otherwise.
And we got him to come out of retirement for the 10-year anniversary of Comic Con.
Nice. All right. Tomorrow's Friday, so Saturday on ontidyradio.com at 12 p.m. Central Time. Check out Edge of the Abyss if you like extreme metal. At 3 p.m. Central Time, check out Bit Rot if you like electronic music. Those are two shows I produce on ontidyradio.com. Music shows, obviously. So that's what I got going on this weekend. That's about it. All right. Not a political show.
We did it.
we
Not a political show. Just an extra long show.
It's extra long. All that was we had that was pre-show wrapped up into the show. That wasn't the actual show, so we're not political.
No.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Have a great weekend. Thursdays can get banned.